Sure.
Yep.
If you wouldn't mind, Coach, starting us off with your reflections on just opening the facility at Love's Field and what that meant to you, and then we'll open up for questions.
It was a day in history that I'll never forget. This has been a dream come true, Love's Field. So I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to feel like, unfortunately, but we've got to let the workers keep working, and they let us on the field, and the whole project continues to shut down. So Friday was a little bit scary. I think we were a little bit tight. I mean, I think we all would admit that, because we felt like we were living in a dream. I don't even know how to explain it. Saturday we played very well. Sunday I give credit to Louisiana. They hit the ball hard. They made big time plays, and our pitching staff was not at their best. Our defense was not at our best. We were sloppy on the base pass. We did some things that cost us the game. I mean, it wasn't just one area. It was just a collective lack of focus, energy, and I won't say energy, focus, and just focus.
Patty, how did you gave them yesterday off, and how did they respond today?
Good. I think the bodies are still a little bit tired. When you think about where we've been, what we've been doing, everybody's kind of in the same boat. You're playing 5 games every weekend. It wears you out. I've got some seniors. They definitely feel it differently than they used to. But we had a good day today. We talked a lot. We talked about what we felt and how we need to make some changes. There was a lot of conversation in the classroom, and then just feeding them confidence out on the field.
Ryan Aber and then Jesse.
Yeah, Patty, if you could share a little bit about that conversation and what that was like. What are some of the things that you came away with, determined to change or adjust? And
I think just the comfort level. We've got to get comfortable. We had some new situations where parents are behind us behind the dugout, so that's new for us. The amount of crowd noise is like the World Series. I don't think we were ready for that. You always want to win all your games on your home field, so I think we put some unnecessary pressure on ourselves to perform. We just weren't as free and as sharp as we normally are. And so we just talked about how we got that out of the way. We got the win streak out of the way. We don't have to think. I don't know that they were really thinking about it, but it is just looming, And so it was just, I'm like, don't be disappointed. What we did is history making. So don't think that one loss is defining us. That's ridiculous. What we've done has never been done before. So I almost feel like it's a new beginning and a new start for us this week.
appreciate it.
Patty, you mentioned over the weekend that the pitching staff got roughed up a little bit, and obviously they've had some really good moments this season, but just from the pitching staff as a whole, what did you see from them, and what can they take from the weekend?
Again, just to settle yourself, have confidence. I feel like we might have been trying a little bit too hard. Too many walks, too many hit batters, too many free bases. Balls started getting, and then it just starts to, like a snowball rolling out of control. Just then people start squaring up the ball, things like that. I didn't know what to expect, and I'm just glad we got through it. I think we get back on the field and we're going to clean all these things up. We needed a game like that. I know that sounds crazy, but this winning streak is not going to go on forever. So we needed to just get something to reset us, because we've been playing okay. We've been playing good enough to win. We've been playing really good at times, but we needed that bad game to get off of us and kind of rebalance the ship a little bit better.
Bob and then Ryan Chapman.
Patty, how much of today or just the days ahead is about letting the seniors be the leaders and letting them kind of figure it out?
I trust them. I think some of them were a little bit tight. I felt some of the elders were more, I don't know, I'm not gonna say tight, I just think we all were just wow. But the seniors know what to do. They've been there, they've done that. They've been playing here since freshmen. They've been playing for championships. They know what it feels like. It's just getting everybody to play a little more free and not thinking about outcomes, but just the process, and that's how we've always been very good at playing in that style.
You've mentioned the noise and how it feels World Series like. A bunch of the players have talked about that too. How much of an adjustment is it going to be to learn how to ride and deal with those emotions week in, week out? Because at the World Series, you have that kind of noise, but it's 5 games ideally spread over an amount of time, not packed into like 3 days.
Yeah. I think we handle those things pretty well. We like going into opponents' facilities and feeling that underdog feel. And I think when you bring in teams that are coming into this new stadium, they're saying, what do we have to lose? And you could feel that from them. For us, we've got to go back to more of, this is really our house, truly. This is really where we live now, and protect this house and understand the makings of this house, and knowing how to handle the crowd, knowing how to handle the outfield wall, knowing how to handle the wind. I mean, there's lots of elements that we learned in a short period of time that they're very good at adjusting. So I'm not worried about this part of it anymore. I think we've got it out of the way, and now we know what to do.
Have you had advised a strategy to maximize like the pregame for tomorrow and against Iowa State, as far as this is the time you can do more work learning the wall, how the wind blows, stuff like that, in this weird period where you can't hop back on it?
It's a challenge, because you really can't jump back on it until it's your time to hit ground balls on it, you know? So if we can get out there now, we probably can get out a little bit earlier and work the ball off the wall a little more. We got to see it in real time, which doesn't help because you don't know where it's going. So I think we might get a little more time now. We were so rushed on the first day, from the ceremony and running them back here, running them back out there. It just felt like everything was pressed. I think we have an understanding of how much time we need to get there, to get comfortable, not feeling rushed.
Coit and then Addison.
Patty, how do you look for your team to respond after such an early season loss this week against Iowa State and Wednesday against Ted State and Commerce?
That's one thing I'm not concerned about, is how they're going to respond, because I know them, and I know that they want that back, and they will. It stung. But at the same time, we talked a little bit about, as much as it stung, you need to kind of be give credit for Louisiana for playing so well in that kind of environment. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can appreciate that have nothing to do with us. And that's one thing we talked about. So that was a big game for them, and that could turn around their season. Good for them. And good for us for learning that we aren't good enough right now. And that's how they're made. They'll respond. I know them. They'll respond. They'll be ready.
What was the attitude and the mood of the team going into practice today? And what would you say is your overall message heading into this week?
I think we were wanting to get back on the field, but still, like, there's a little bit of tired bodies. Usually Tuesday looks a little bit like that. But the message is just get better. Let's get better. Let's work on getting better today at practice. The only thing I said in the circle was, let's get better today. And saw some of that. They do their work. They do it the right way. So I don't know. We're us. We're going to keep being us. We're a good team, very good team, and you'll see that this weekend.
James?
Patty, you're still 5th in defense, and I know you had the errors for most since 2021 in one game. But when you look at your defense, what do you think? I mean, what are you playing, and can you play better?
100%. That's one of our strengths. We're getting used to the field. I think they know what's coming now. I think they were embarrassed a little bit by Sunday because they knew that they underachieved. And no, I do not have any worries. I'm not at home going, what are we going to do? We had a bad game. We had a bad game at the World Series one year, and I think we had 5 errors in 1 inning, and we ended up winning a national championship. So if I'm not panicking about one thing right now, we're fine. We're athletic. We know what it takes.
You got Texas A&M Commerce tomorrow, Iowa State this weekend. What are you running into? What do you see in these teams?
Commerce is a new program with new coaches, and they're trying to get themselves up and running. So we are not going to worry about how good they are. We're going to worry about what we need to do to be better. So that's really the focus tomorrow night. Iowa State always gives us fits. They've got good pitchers. They're coached well. They hit the ball notoriously pretty hard. They always give us good runs for our money. It's a start of our last Big 12 conference play. I know these guys will be fired up for that. So we'll have a battle this weekend, no question.
Ryan Avery.
Yeah, Patty, I know you asked you about her on Saturday, but continued it on Sunday. Sydney, and the way that she's continued to respond, what kind of difference have you noticed from her? I know you felt pretty good about her approach, going into last weekend, but what have you seen from her, as she's sort of come out of what she was fighting through?
Yeah, I think she has. She's had some good at bats where she's turned, tough at bats into walks. And I don't think people really notice that because everybody likes the long ball, right? But she has really been hitting the ball hard. Part of it is because she is that good. And part of it is she doesn't like when she's not in the starting lineup. So, but our team is starting to understand that certain hitters work well for certain pitchers. But what she wants to show us is that she can hit any pitcher. And so that's really the battle that she's facing and the battle that she's trying to win.
Appreciate it.
Ryan
Thanks,
Chapman,
Ben.
last one.
Ooh, sorry. I was going to say Lena,
Yeah.
just someone that in a shorter time compared to some others that have been here. You see her in the outfield, third base, second base, battling with that group at second. Just what do you see from her as she's responded to the first 19 or so games?
Yeah, I feel she's played a pretty good second base, but in the last, like this weekend, she swung the bat pretty well. She started to, our last day at Mary Nutter, she started to hit the ball pretty well. She might have hit one out or hit a ball off the wall. But she's really swinging hard. She's feeling very confident. She feels different, looks different. And she's fighting, to continue to be good enough to be in this lineup wherever we need her. She's very much team-oriented, and I really like that about her. She's not in the dugout boohooing. She's just waiting for her opportunity, and she's always ready for it. So I really like what I see and feel from Lena right now.
Thanks, Coach.